Baby, hello, nakupenda sana. Hello, mama, hello, wapi baby, mapenzi tangu. Hello, nakutaka sana. Oh, mama, oh, mama.
Asante sana for joining us for another classic episode of The Wicked Edition. I'm your host, Dr. Kingori. Now, before we start the show, before I even tell you about the Nokia T20 tablet and its powerful battery power ya kushinda the whole day, I need you to help me with something. Please. Now, I noticed that the Roots Party presidential candidate, George Wajakoya, akona accent the same na mzee Harrison Mogokwama. Is it true? Is it just me or am I overthinking?
I'm warning that cabinet minister, he'll be the first one I will sack when I take over the authority.
Wasijana yote ambao wanatembea hapa na pale usiku wanafaa nguo fupi naitwa pushcart. Hii area yangu Nyavita sub location nimekataa.
Hii chama ni chama ya wenye Kenya, watu ambao wamemea kama mumea.
Hii ndio picha yangu. Usiku kama unapita hapa unaona unafikiri mimi hiko lakini kumbe ni hii picha.
Me as an your accent ni the same. I just shared it because I found it interesting how two people can sound the same and have a totally different stand on the same thing.
Hata ukienda Israel, hata ukienda Uganda, ukienda South Africa ama Uholanzi, ama uende Canada, ama uende Zimbabwe, bangi imehalalishwa.
Na sasa bangi inaribu kichwa ya vijana. Anashinda vijana kazi, hawezi kufanya kazi. Na mimi kama senior assistant chief, area yangu hii, sitaki bangi yoyote mtu natembea naye. Kupatikana, tutakushika, tupeleke wewe mbele, usitakiwe ujibu masitaka.
Anyway, that was not part of the show. Just a curious thing I wanted to share with you and get your opinion on. Na by the way, video ya Wajakoya, the clip yenye nilinotice na hiyo accent ilikuwa during his campaigns in Kisumu, where he reportedly campaigned for his competitor, the Azimio presidential candidate, Raila Odinga.
Nataka kuadvise baba, manake baba ni rafiki yangu. Baba eno siepna. Kitalo baba tibeni tala. Kitalo jaramungiti itala. Kitalo kwambo itala. Uinjo mano kuinjo. Wengine wanakuja hapa anatukana baba ati ile mtu wa vitendawili. Walikuwa wapi baba akiwa kwa jela?
The Roots Party leader also said that a win for Raila or himself would be a victory for the entire Western Kenya.
Now, what I found interesting is what haters can say that Wajakoya alienda kukampainia Raila Kisumu, because someone would assume Raila does not need to campaign in Kisumu. In fact, haters wanasema Wajakoya kukampainia Raila in Kisumu ni kama ile kitu mademu fanya. Dema na kuomba pesa ya kukusurprise on your birthday. Wewe utoe do aende akununulie surprise yako ya your birthday. Why do you think instead of celebrating, men usually worry when their lady promises to buy them a birthday gift? Simple. Juu kama si socks, kitu yote ingine, hiyo pesa ni wewe unatoa. Guess what, babe? I'm getting you a car for your birthday. That should make you happy. But what's the reaction? Babe, mazemi sina hiyo pesa sahi. Because you know. Now, well, Professor has since responded to the claims of campaigning for Raila by making this clarification.
You have to apply intelligence and logic wherever you are in a place. You also have to know that when you're a soldier commanding your troops and you go in an enemy territory, you have to use any other means to get out of that alive.
So
Therefore,
basically, with the
on
48 laws of power, you didn't want to outshine the boss, right?
Well,
India.
Yes, you don't outshine the boss. Like now, Uhuru Kenyatta is my boss. Even if I differ with him, when I see him, I'll say, Your Excellency, how are you? That's the kind of nature we want. What about if I go to Eldoret and I say the same thing? What will people say?
That's an interesting admission from a politician, if you ask me. Ukienda Kisumu, you say what you think the people of Kisumu want to hear. Ukienda Eldoret, you say what you think the people of Eldoret want to hear. Maybe even the Roots Party walisikia watu wanaenda Naivasha wakapromise dogi. Hiyo ndio sasa siasa ya kutoa nyoka pangoni. Watu walienda Naivasha wanajua chenye inamaanisha. And speaking of Naivasha, that's all people talked about last week. Safari Rally is back. and it had gone, ilikuwa imestopiwa for over 20 years because of safety issues. Wakenya walijaa hivi Naivasha maze to watch the rally voluntarily, proving that when Kenyans are interested, you don't have to ferry them to a rally. But the good news is Safari Rally is back after over 20 years, and one of the highlights from that event, it's reported that Naivasha ran out of condoms on day one. Yes, the Safari Rally was back, but Kenyans were like, safety first. Now, when Maxine, kuna the lady who won it was Maxine, but at gunpoint, one of the winners by the way, at gunpoint, I can guess that 98% of what walienda Naivasha hata wajui ni nani aliwin. But who knows? Who am I? Also, musician Bahati hit the headlines again for the same reasons as last time, the Mathare MP ticket.
Dear Azimio, do we still want the youth? If we are not wanted, tell us. Tuambieni.
Now, your decision ya kuzone Mathare constituency and Azimio so mtoto wa mama engage in a back and forth with the ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna, which saw Sifuna drag Bahati's wife Diana into the mix. Diana was just chilling. But with the hate that people have for this young family, kuna mtu hata haezi amini Diana amechill. Now, this was a low blow. Hapo mheshimiwa as in Sifuna hakufanya poa maze. People should leave family out of politics. I don't know why every time Bahati is dealing with something, people have to bring up his wife, Diana. Bahati haezi enda independent. But then again, kuna haters huona ni kama Bahati amekaliwa na Diana. So, wengine wanasema ati, what is he going to say in the August house if he doesn't have a say in his own house? Well, Bahati on the other hand has maintained that he's going to be on the ballot.
I have not stepped down for anyone. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, the other candidate was told to step down for Bahati Kioko.
Now, I honestly think people should let Bahati go for it, especially wale watu sema Bahati ana talent. Maybe politics is one way as a pataki power. Now, talking about power, how about conservation? Power conservation. Tuko hapa na gadget ya power sana. Na by the naimba sana about battery ya the Nokia T20 tablet. And if I can just show you, iko 76%. If you look carefully, iko 76%. Alafu, it actually says hapa, I know you can read, iko na more than 2 days of power left. Kama umechoka kutumia simu, inatumia moto kama pasi ama fridge, unajua kuna simu lazima utumie nayo ikiwa kwa charge. This is the device for you. It's a one-stop entertainment hub that also doubles up as a mobile office. Hapa watu wale wa Netflix, cinema ina flow vizuri sana, and you can also watch your favorite videos on YouTube. Vipoa kabisa. I call it a mobile office because, like I say, for the people, squeezy world may move digital. You wanna do a Zoom meeting. It has a 10.4 inch screen, which is scratch resistant. Na hata kwa hizo features kidogo zenye nimeongea, you can already tell I've not even scratched the surface. Not many gadgets out there that have a battery that can last over 8 hours on heavy use. An interesting fun fact. It takes like 20 buckets of water to charge one phone. Ile like kugenerate electricity ya kucharge simu moja ni ndo 20 za maji. Imagine mtu wako na gadget yenye una charge mara 10 kwa siku. How much water do you think you need to get connected? Ndio ukae tu kwa mtandao mtu akiangalia WhatsApp na kuona uko online. Anyway, that's on a light note. Also, the Nokia T20 tablet supports Google Family Sharing, which means that kama uko na watoi and you share the device with them, they can browse online safely. Now, the subject on our show tonight is about something most people hate, but I'm sure you will love that we decided to talk about it. I say you will love it because most people hate it, sababu they do not understand, ama most of us do not understand the advantages of kujua vile taxes zina work. In countries kama US, maze, they have arrangements where unaweza rudishiwa pesa na serikali juu ya vile umelipa tax. Alafu, tena an interesting fun fact I learned while researching for this topic, tulipata ati tax evasion is a crime, but tax avoidance is a skill. You can avoid to pay tax na usikuwa umefanya makosa. That caught my attention. You know, did you know that hata zawadi peke yake inafaa kutaxiwa? Like gifts should be taxed. Well, this is a matter that affects all of us because it's money that we spend even when we don't have. Now, we have on set one of the leading accounting lecturers and tax experts in the country. CPA Susan Wangeshi joins us on the other end of this short commercial break. See you guys in a bit. Oh, welcome back to the weekend edition. I'm your host, Dr. Kingori. Leo tunataka kupiga story ya pesa in a very, very interesting perspective. One of my colleagues anaitwa Hunja, hata ajui nimemmention kwa TV na sijui atafilaje, but nimemmention tu cause is my friend on a tax consultation perspective uko kwa upande ya pesa. Namwambianga, maze nimefanya job na katwa 30%. Job yote nimefanya na katwa 30%. You enda wapi? Inafanyanga nini? And then I met a lady mwenye ako in that area. She is actually credited to have taught most of the accountants, if not all, in Nairobi. CPA Susan Wangeshi is in the house. Karibu sana, karibu.
Asante sana.
Aya, sawa. I think kierere yangu tuanze na what is taxation? Kuna ka definition interesting ulikuwa nayo sana. What is taxation?
Yeah, so ukisikia tax ama taxation, it is a compulsory contribution. You as an individual, if you're running a company, it's a business, it's a compulsory contribution, meaning it is a must. You pay tax to the government. Whether you are employed or you are running a business, it is a compulsory contribution which enables the government to meet its expenses because it does not have ready sources of income. So anytime you hear of tax, always know it is a compulsory contribution by persons to the state to enable it to meet its expenses.
So from a hater's perspective, the only difference between umesema compulsory contribution,
yes, it's
the only
compulsory.
difference between tax na kupigwa ngeta ni ngeta ina percentage.
The only difference is for taxation, we tax where there is an income, where tunajua you are making income. Not everyone.
Kwa ngeta ina income.
Not everyone, at least sisi tunanga, as the government looks at, for example, if you're employed and you are earning 24,000 and above, unalipa tax. But if you are earning below that, you are not subjected to tax. But geta itajua whether uko na 5,000, 2,200.
Now, one of the interesting things about this book, and the first thing, by the way, she is the author of this book, Public Finance and Taxation Made Easy, is kuna tax evasion and tax avoidance. You can avoid paying tax legally.
Yes.
Please explain that.
Now, when we say of tax avoidance and tax evasion, avoidance is where you use maybe tax experts ama wewe mwenyewe. You go study the Income Tax Act vizuri, una detect kuna some loopholes, you capitalize on those loopholes to reduce your tax burden. So hata ukipatikana or if you're caught, there is nothing they can do. They cannot penalize you, they cannot do anything because you capitalized on what is in the Income Tax Act. Lakini evasion ni ile you want to refuse to pay tax literally. Maybe una inflate expenses. I made 2 million. Nasema my expenses were 2.1 million. You are inflating expenses which you didn't incur. Lakini ama evasion, I'm making an income somewhere and I don't disclose it when I'm filing my returns. Iyo ni evasion. But when it comes to avoidance, tunaangalia, for example, kuna kitu nilikuwa nakwambia, tunaitanga maybe kama allowable deduction. Najua, from my income, kama ile salary na earn at the end of the month, I can opt, from that salary, 5,000, I will be putting it in a pension scheme, ama I will be putting in a home ownership saving plan. It's an institution that is there. Iyo pesa ni yangu, but I opted to put it there. Naiweka hapo, I'm saving and it is my money and it will be earning me interest. But because the government want to encourage you to make sure you own a home, wanakwambia anything you contribute to a home ownership saving plan, before we subject you to tax, tunakuwa tunatoa hiyo. Remember, the higher the income, the higher the tax. Kwa hivyo, if my income was 50,000 and I'm contributing towards home ownership saving plan, maybe na contribute 5,000 per month, before ni taxiwe kwa hiyo 50, 5,000 inatolewa, I'm taxed on the difference. So unaona napea KRA less than what I would have given them. So I'm capitalizing that loophole to reduce my tax burden.
So if I capitalize on my side hustle, nibakishe tu 5,000, out of do nimesave ya nyumba, I'll only be taxed on 5,000.
Ita depend umeweka wapi. How are you capitalizing it? You are capitalizing on those avenues zenye ziko present kwa Income Tax Act.
So a friend of mine told me that how he compiles mavitu kwa kampuni yake ni every time ukibuy kitu, every time you buy something, kuna VAT charged. Ukilipa stima, there's VAT charged.
Yes.
So when you're tabulating your tax returns, if you compile all the money you've been charged in terms of tax, there's a way it can be deducted from the money you have made as profits. Is that true?
The funny thing is, for your household goods, it's not considered ya reduce your tax burden.
Then
actually ukipatikana umetoa hiyo electricity na ni ya nyumba yako na si ya ofisi. Ya ofisi ni sawa. Kama this is where I'm running my business in an office, and then kuna hizo electricity bill nimenunua furniture, hiyo VAT nitaitumia reduce VAT yenye nalipa at the end of the month. Lakini kama umenunua viti za nyumba ama your household goods, hiyo ukiclaim, they will come telling you evaded tax.
That is illegal because niki apply for tax niki eka hiyo kwa tax stima ya nyumba. What if I'm working from home?
That's what you have to prove. As in, if it is a household na inaonekana sio ofisi ni yako yenye unatumia kwa nyumba yako, that one is not allowable in taxation. Because the taxman says you have to match your income with expenses which you incur to generate that income. Kwa hivyo, if it is office furniture, that one is okay. If it is office electricity, it's okay. Lakini yako kingori ya kwako nyumbani, ukileta hapo utafuatwa na utaambiwa you are evading tax.
Naenda kuweka kiti kama hii kwa nyumba yangu. But then, that said, there is also a benefit that if you are married, it reduces tax.
Let me tell you something interesting. It is not that. What happens, actually, if you're married, the income that you earn, when it comes to taxation, it's deemed to be your husband's. So the husband is the one who will be called upon to pay tax on your behalf. And the higher the income, the higher the tax. Na kuna kitu tunaitanga in taxation, personal relief. Personal relief inapewa mtu yeyote mwenye analipa tax. Kama saa hii ni 28,800. When you're being taxed pale wakicompute tax yako, unatolewa 28,800. That is for the whole year. That is what is happening. Lakini if they tax the husband only, personal relief itakuwa ya mtu mmoja. Currently walileta kitu akasema saa hii inakubaliwa a wife you can do it on your own, the husband can do it on your own. But if you are working for your husband ameanza kampuni and you are an employee of that company, any income you are getting will not be deemed yours but your husband's. Hata kama ni hapa, for example, NTV, Kingori is working with the wife here. And maybe you control more than 12.5% of the company shareholding, the wife's income will be deemed husband's. And the husband will be the one who will be called upon to pay tax.
So not like I thought, marriage ni hasara bado, either way.
But remember, kama ni losses, you carry the baggage. So in any way, kama ni business, you are in partnership, whatever happens, the husband. But currently, you can opt to do it on your own.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, how much responsibility, how much should we hold the tax bodies accountable? I was told of countries that pay tax up to 55%, but people don't complain because they have good hospitals, they have good housing, etc. Can you refuse to pay tax because you don't see the value of where it's going?
Actually, kuna kitu naitanga causes of tax evasion. Na nimewambia, evasion is illegal. Kuna moja tunasemanga it's a cause. Na moja ni hiyo lack of accountability and transparency from the side of the government. Because somebody feels they are taxing me, getting my money, and I cannot see what is doing. So if the government can come out clean, wakue very transparent and very accountable, hata nikilipa tax, I will not feel bad. Lakini watu wanasema, sisi tunataxiwa, then ndio hizo zimepotelea, zimepata mashimo, corruption. So that is one thing that is making people evade from paying tax. So unapata there is lack of accountability, lack of transparency on the side of the government. So it is a major cause of tax evasion. That one I can tell you for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if everybody paid tax and the government was accountable in the situation as of our country Kenya, atufai kuwa tuna complain.
Actually, ingekuwa increase the taxable capacity. The taxable capacity is the number of people in the tax brackets. Wengi sana, because Kengori, if you know, by giving this, it's helping like more than 20 people or whatever, you will comfortably do it. But that lack of accountability and transparency is the one that is making people feel like we should not be giving taxes. Yes.
Alafu, kuna some of the things I had highlighted. One of them, encouragement of home ownership. That's a good advantage and stuff. But sasa hata kwa hiyo home ownership, utakuja bado upigwe tax. Government will get
lakini inapunguza home ownership saving plan. Ama uchukue loan, you buy a house or you construct yours. When you are students who are here na maybe wanafanya CPA na wanafanya taxation, they understand what I'm saying. How it helps. If I take a mortgage, for example, today if you took a loan to buy your own home, or maybe to construct, or to repair your own residential house, si lazima ulipe hiyo na interest. Ama interest, Waislamu wanaita markup. So that interest, unaambiwa, before we tax you on your employment income, tutakuwa tunaitoa kwanza. So it is encouraging people to feel that it is reducing my tax burden. Whatever I would have given KRA, have reduced it legally, and it is encouraged. Because nikiona inanisaidia hivyo, actually kama sisi tax expert, look at our pay slips on all how we avoid it. Because we are doing it legally. Mortgage interest, na sahi mortgage kwanza inapeanwa up to 300,000 per annum. Kama uko na mortgage umelipa hiyo interest yote, ilete, itolewe from your salary before you are subjected to tax.
The interest, not the principal.
No, the interest. But HOSP, it is on contribution. The home ownership saving plan.
One of my favorite things from this book ni ati taxation of gifts. Ati ukipea mtu zawadi, KRA pia inaweza kuja hapo. Hebu nitolee tax kwa maua. How does that work? Why would you go ati gifts are only taxable if
number one, if it is the employer who is giving you a gift, for example, tuseme mwaka yenye imepita. Sisai, by the have you filed returns? Mko na PIN numbers? You have PINs. Have you filed your returns?
I want a job.
Let me tell you something. Whether you are employed or not, and you have a PIN, you must file the return. Tunaita nil. File nil returns. If you've not, na June ipite 30th, unapata penalty immediately.
Penalty or nothing?
Yes, because of failure to file nil return.
The government just want to confirm you're getting nothing.
Actually, that's it. You file to show them, mimi ni student, I'm not employed, you file nil return. If you don't, kama hata imeaccumulate, kama mwingine ni student ulikuwa tunaongea hapa, alikuwa amechukua.
Do you know mtu akikwambia analipwa $500,000 per month? $500,000 per month, that's roughly 350K per month. That's around there about.
Around figure.
Imagine, like, ndio usikie mtu ana 300, ukisikia mtu salary yako gross ni 500K. That's 350.
Unajua hapo kuna very good percentage inaenda na KRA. And that's why I uambia even my students, the ones I talk to, when you're negotiating for your salary, you need to be very keen. Kama unataka 50,000, be very open to the person who is employing you. Mwambie it is 50,000 net of tax. Juu ukisema 50,000, that is not your take home. From that 50,000, lazima wata compute pay as you earn, itolewe, upewe the net income. So you see, tax ni lazima. That's why tunaambiwa, at a tax time ya Jesus, it was still there. That's why give Caesar what belongs to Caesar. I don't know how Muslims call it.
Me, I have this argument. Sorry for your Muslim wanaita. Muslim wanaitaje?
I don't know.
Mimi,
we give Caesar.
Can I consider myself now that mi ugawana salary yangu na KRA? Am I a KRA employee?
No, KRA is getting their tax from your salary. You are not their employee. That is how government makes money. You must give KRA what belongs to KRA.
One of the most controversial conversation kwa taxation ni kanisa. Hiyo huwezi kuuza.
Actually, ukiangalia status yangu leo, if you look at it, I've just given a ruling we won in court, where they had built a church, sita mention ni gani, 5.5 million. Wakawaambia, this is what you owe KRA. From all these offering tithes you have been getting, you need to pay us. But I was saying, even them even appealing, because kwa tribunal the case was won, then waka appeal, I would have advised KRA, you should not have done that, because the Income Tax Act says, if an institution is a public in nature or public in character, number two, if it is formed for advancement of religion or education, it should not be subjected to tax. So them, they were arguing, these people do not have tax exemption certificate. But on the other hand, ukiangalia Income Tax Act, tithes, offerings, donations, they are not subjected to tax. Because hii tithe, ni nyinyi mnapeleka, you have already been subjected to tax. Why would it be subjected to another double taxation?
What's the practicality of taxing dowry? Ukitishwa ng'ombe 100, unapeleka ng'ombe 95, unasema hizo 5 ni withholding. What's the practicality?
Now, dowry, sijui Kingori umeona wapi, we do not tax dowry, but unless umeingia kwa biashara yako, ni uko na watu wengi sana, kazi yako tu ni kupeleka wasichana, unaletewa dowry. We need to prove that is the business you are doing. Lakini kama ni umepata mrembo, unaenda unalipa dowry, babake hata taxiwa for that. Hapana.
Asante sana. I believe there is so much we can talk about on taxation. We are happy to set up another conversation.
Yeah.
But for today, tumepata kitu, si ndio? Wazi. Asante sana. Wapi makofi yake?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And how can potential tax avoidance clients ama upcoming tax nini get your services?
Ukienda Facebook, I'm CPA Wangeshi Warue. Ama Wangeshi Warue, that's my personal account, Wangeshi Warue, or CPA Wangeshi Warue. And we also do so many things.
Ciao, basi. That's it for the weekend edition. See you next week. My name is Dr. Kingori.